So today we're going to talk about a quote. Okay, I'm armed and ready. So let me look up this quote. Okay, this quote here comes from Theodore Roosevelt. One thing that he has been known for saying is people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So let's look up the word care. Okay, so we have care. There's lots of different definitions of care. You probably know. But this one, the one that pertains to what we're saying in this particular quote, is to feel interest or concern. So my interpretation of this is, people are more receptive to your knowledge when they feel you understand and value them as individuals. So I'm going to tell you an example about this. So I've been to many different places and I'm old, so I've received care and seen many different doctors in many different places that I've been. I had a doctor who I went into his office and he had plaques upon plaques upon plaques and all of the credentials that he has attained throughout the years. It was impressive to see. But the guy didn't really care to hear about my ailments or how I was feeling. He looked at my chart, said, "Hey, this is what the problem is. I'm going to give you this medicine. I got to go. I got other patients lined up." And that was it. He was wrong about what was wrong with me. He didn't listen to me. The medicine didn't help because it was the wrong medicine I did not need. And on top of that, it's kind of rude. So I went to another doctor. Now this doctor, you know, it was a smaller office, wasn't grandiose, didn't have quite as many plaques on the wall. It was more or less a kind of a office / exam room. So as you could say, if you compare and contrast the two offices, they're much different, right? But that doctor talked to me. Before she even looked at my chart, she said, "Hey, I haven't looked at your chart. I want to talk to you. What's the problem? How are you feeling?" And I started talking about it, and we had to start having this conversation and all this stuff. And then she said, "Okay, let me look at this." She looked at the chart. She compared that to what I was saying and said, "Hey, I know what's wrong." And she said, "This is what I would like to do. You tell me if you're comfortable with this plan of action, with this treatment plan." We talked about it, discussed it, talked about the medication and the side effects. She understood how I was feeling. Um, she cared. And in that conversation, I said, "Hey," I started wanting to know more about how she came to be who she was, to be that type of physician. A lot of people come into those situations kind of apprehensive. They're not feeling well. They don't know what's wrong, and they want to feel better. And they're putting their health in somebody else's hands. I don't care how many certificates you have, how many credentials that you have. Don't care about any of that. But once I know that you care about me like I did that physician, I wanted to know more. Guess what? I had seen a few different physicians. They did not help me. She did, because she was the first one that actually listened to what I had to say. She cared about how I felt. And she wanted to make sure I was comfortable with the treatment plan that she had laid out for me. And I will tell you that I was guilty of that myself. I thought that having degrees upon degrees, that made me intelligent, that made me, you can have intelligent quotient, an IQ, but more important than an IQ is emotional intelligence. Being able to understand someone else, understand what they're going through, and be there for them. So, hey, thank you for joining me on Fireplace Chat, and I will see you next time. Thank you.